I have all these postcards which I'm intending on putting on that wall over there, but they're all different sizes and orientations. Just like people. I get a kind of euphoria when I get an opportunity to speak a second language, a foreign language, a non-native language, with other people, especially native speakers of that other language. My voice sounds so funny. I just ate cereal. I think the joy of communicating with other human beings in their language and connecting with other people is one of the reasons why people study foreign languages, at least here. English is obviously such a dominating language that most foreign language study and second language study in America is for fun, or because you're forced to in school and you hate it. I don't really know why I like languages so much. It's not because of this exciting moment when you get to connect with somebody else, but it is a fun side effect for me. When I worked retail, very briefly, I'm so sorry to my manager who was counting on me, and I left you all behind. I, every now and then, got to interact with two different customers who spoke sign language. One guy was just having a great time. He was like walking past, you know, they have all the candy up front to tempt you, and he was tempted. He was walking towards my register and just stopped, wheeled around, grabbed some candy, and came back to my register. And he was just telling me in sign language that he like saw it and he's just like, I need to have it. I responded and agreed with him, and whenever we had this beautiful interaction, he left, and I don't know, right? It's kind of like butterflies. Then the other customer, the first time I met him, he was interacting with a little computer screen thing where you swipe your card and enter your phone number, whatever. I'm sure it has a name. He pointed at it and did this to be like, I need to put in my phone number. And then so I just switched to using a bit of sign language, and his face lit up, and then my face lit up, and then he left. He was like, goodbye, and then I was like, Euphoria is just the only way I can describe it. It's just like an immediate uplifting of my spirit into the heavens. The most recent time this happened, I was in China just a couple weeks ago. My home province in China doesn't have much going for it as far as like foreigners visiting for tourism, but we do have the Shaolin temples and monks and kung fu. We were at one of these temples looking at the history, as you do, and I saw a tour group of a bunch of white people walking through, and everyone's kind of like, whoa, foreigners. Look at them in the off-season. But there was a tour guide and he had a little French flag, and so I was telling the people I was with that they were French tourists, probably. And I was like, I wonder if their tour guide is speaking to them in French. I'd like to see that. I get really creepy about languages and I like to eavesdrop a little bit, so I just kind of like walked over, sauntered, if you will, and they were looking at this giant gourd, which there are a lot of in China. And he is talking in French, and he's like, look at this awesome gourd, blah 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 blah. French that I don't remember. The tour group moves off, and then there's just a lot of, it appears to be a really large group of French people, because there's the people who care about the tour, and then there's all the teenagers who are kind of lagging behind. A couple independent like couples just wandering, doing their own thing. At this point my family has caught up to me, because I'm being a bit of a creep. I'm sort of not doing very well. I'm not looking obviously at this like group of teenagers or young people, they're like my age, who are looking at this amazing giant gourd. They also look at us, and we have this moment of eye contact, and then they're just kind of like, ni hao. Which, okay, I look very uncomfortable. They did not look that uncomfortable. And so in response, I said, bonjour. Wow, my voice is really choking on that cereal there. And they just kind of stopped, and then they just kind of looked, and just went, they didn't whisper dramatically. We were many feet apart in a crowded tourist area. I had this whole little conversation with this dude, and he told me my pronunciation is very good, and they're from Paris, and I told him I went to Paris, and like, la 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 la. Also, they also were probably kind of astonished because they probably thought I was like a China person. Why would people in China be studying French? And so while I'm chatting with them, apparently more of these French tourists are like crowding behind me, because then I just hear a voice from behind me. I totally forget what she said. Something like, you speak French, or la 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 la. Yes, that's exactly what she said. Turned around and suddenly just people, and I back up like a cartoon, and I have a conversation with this old couple. They went off, and then I just had this sort of replaying loop in my head of that first kid just being like, your pronunciation is very good. I do this thing when I'm uncontrollably proud and happy at the same time. My arms just kind of go up. Walked up to my mom, I was like, hey mommy, my French pronunciation is very good. And we went on with our day, but like every 10 minutes I thought about it again and was just like, I know on this channel I have a particularly international, non-America audience, so I just wanted to ask you if you've ever had similar experiences, or if I'm just enjoying my ego being stroked too much. If you learned a second language or a foreign language, like, do you get little butterflies when you speak it with somebody? Thank you for watching a lot. Feel free to subscribe for more language-related videos. I think this is my second channel where I just put random junk that I don't want to put on my first channel, and my language channel. I don't post very often at all on this channel, but I do have a Patreon if you guys want to check that out. Patreon is basically a website where you can support creators you like. So you can sign up to give me $1 or whatever one of your local currency is per month, like a bit of a tip. And then if I hit a certain goal, one of my goals is that I will make videos more consistently on this channel. So if you want to help me make more language videos, you can check that out and check out my main channel. And don't forget to tell me about your thought of this in the comments and like it. I don't know. I am a cog in the machine. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what. So I'm gonna go and sneeze. Bye.